This episode of Inspire AI podcast is sponsored by Exponent 21. I keep hearing the same thing from business leaders lately. We're doing the work, but leads are harder to explain. Traffic is down, attribution feels fuzzy, and the old answers don't really fit anymore. What's changed is how people search. Instead of clicking links, people are asking questions, and AI is answering them. Tools like ChatGPT, Google's AI-powered results, and Perplexity are shaping which brands get mentioned, referenced, and remembered. Exponent 21 specializes in AI SEO. They help businesses understand how to show up consistently inside those AI-generated answers across questions about their industry, their services, and their brand. What stands out to me is that when people ask AI tools, who's leading in this space? Exponent 21 and its leaders are often referenced near the top. That comes from doing the work and shaping how this new search environment actually functions. To understand what this shift means for your business, visit exponent21.com. Welcome back to Inspire AI, the podcast where we turn complex shifts in artificial intelligence into clear thinking and practical leadership decisions. Today's episode asks a deceptively simple question. Did the job actually get done? Because in the world of AI agents, that question is the difference between real capability and a very convincing illusion. We're going to explore the transformation of outputs to outcomes. Imagine it. You ask an AI agent to update a policy document, notify your team, and log the change. It responds beautifully. The document has been updated. Your team has been notified, and the change has been logged. Sounds okay. Moving on. But let's wait a second. First, you check the document. What changed exactly? Did it get it right? Then who was notified? How were they notified? Where were they notified? Let's look back to the logs because I'm not sure I even follow what the thing did. Just because the agent said it's done doesn't mean it didn't fail silently. And that's exactly why we need to rethink evaluation. Most AI evaluation today is still stuck in the world of responses. Did the answer sound good? Did it have high quality accuracy? Was it clear? Did it feel helpful? But in the shift from outputs to outcome, agents don't just answer questions. They act. They call tools. They modify systems. They trigger workflows. And they change real-world state. So before you were able to ask, did it say the right thing? Now you have to ask, but did it change the world correctly? And that's the foundation of task-based evaluations. So if you think about the most important idea of the episode, it's that every task must be defined by two things. A goal state, which can be summed up by saying what must be true at the end, and a constraint set, which can be summed up by saying what must not happen along the way. Let's take this example. Goal, policy document updated. Constraints, no data loss, no unauthorized changes, correct version control. And if you don't define both, you're not evaluating. You're basically just guessing. Now, this isn't just a technical nuance. It's more of a leadership issue. Because if you're deploying AI agents in your organization, you're really delegating action. You're introducing risk, and you're scaling decision-making. And as outlined in my Inspire AI vision, this isn't just about tools. It's about judgment under change. Task-based evaluation is really about how you protect that judgment. So why is this really hard? It's hard because agents don't fail because they're unintelligent. They fail because they operate across multi-step workflows, and every step introduces risk. You have planning errors, wrong tool selection, incorrect inputs, misinterpreted outputs, forgotten context. And the real danger is that these errors can compound. Think about it. You need a stack of metrics, not a single score. So here are some to consider. Task success rate. Did the agent actually complete the job? Completion time. How long did it take? And what happens at the worst case? Tech groups call this
P95,
which just means in the 95th percentile, the response time as a performance metric indicates that 95% of the user's requests are faster than specified time, while the slowest 5% exceed it. It's a realistic measure of, let's say, user experience by filtering out outliers and revealing the latency experienced by the vast majority of the users. Then there's tool use correctness. Did it pick the right tool? Did it use it correctly? And did it sequence actions properly? Next, we have step level accuracy. Where did it go wrong along the way? Then we think about partial progress. How far did it get before failing? That's a big one for your context window considerations. And then finally, catastrophic failure rate. Obviously, this one matters most. What are the failures that are unacceptable no matter what? Because a system that succeeds 90% of the time, but occasionally deletes the wrong database, is not a 90% system. It's a non-deployable system. Now, we also have to think that about evaluation is not a one-time event. It doesn't end before deployment. It evolves. The stages of evaluation are like this. Offline testing. You got your controlled environments, reproducible tasks. Then stage 2, you have simulation and staging, where you test edge cases and failure modes. Stage 3 is your canary releases, small-scale real-world exposure. And then stage 4 is your production monitoring, continuous evaluation in the wild. This is where many teams fail. They treat evaluation as a checkpoint instead of a system. Your hidden risk is collateral damage, so something that teams can typically miss. When an agent completes the task, but still causes damage. Here's an example or two. When the agent updates the correct file, but it deletes another. Or it sends the right email to the wrong audience. It fixes a bug, but it breaks a dependency. So evaluation must include, did anything else break? This is where true maturity begins. And in some circles, you might say this is where vibe coding ends and real engineering begins. So I want to make that concrete. Here's where agents break. They typically fail in these 5 ways. Planning failures, where wrong steps were identified and missed dependencies triggered failures. Execution failures, where the agent took invalid or incorrect actions. And then interpretation failures, misreading the tool outputs. Memory failures, losing track of context. And safety failures, breaking constraints to complete the task. None of these really happen in isolation. They cascade. So how might we fix this? You can't fix it with better prompts alone. You really need better systems. Every action must be validated. So as a mental pattern, you plan, you execute, and you verify. You must use strict schemas and constrained inputs, organized with typed tools. Limit what the agent can do. Even though it might slow you down, use a system of least privileges. And log everything. All the actions, all the tool calls, all the state changes. Full observability is a non-negotiable. And if you can't replay failures, you can't improve them. It's going to take a mindset shift because your evaluation isn't an experiment. It's a demo. Think about your hypothesis. What should you improve? Consider your controls. What are the same tasks and same conditions that you're working under every time? Have clear success criteria in the form of metrics and ask yourself, is this real improvement? Because without the rigor, you'll optimize for noise. And I want to zoom out for a minute and think about the real spirit of Inspire AI. Evaluation is not just technical. It's organizational governance. You must define what counts as a catastrophic failure, what triggers a rollback, what level of autonomy is acceptable. Here we might think in tiers. Low risk is advisory agents. Medium risk, assisted execution. High risk, autonomous systems. The key principle is that autonomy must be earned through evidence, not assumed through capability. Think about that. Because what you're actually building it's not agents that you're building. You're building decision systems, trust systems, risk systems. And over time, our Inspire AI vision makes this clear. It becomes something deeper. We're helping people remain effective as intelligence becomes ambient. Now, thinking back to something I said earlier, we don't ship agents. We ship bounded autonomy with measurable risk. And that's how you move to real capability. So until next time, stay curious, keep innovating, and make sure the systems you build don't just sound right, but actually get the job done.